Hi, I'm Angie. Let's get started with Pilates. Coming down onto our back with the knees bent and your feet on the floor. In your neutral spine with the hands down beside you. T-zone switched on. We've got our bent knee fallouts. Inhale as you drop the knee down. Exhale, bringing it back to center. So just really creating your mind to body connection here. Keeping that T-zone activated. Keeping the hips square. So your hip bones are facing up towards the ceiling and they're not moving out to the side as the knee drops down. You're not trying to drop the knee all the way down to the floor. If you take it too far, those hips will swing and the T-zone will switch off. So just going as far as you can. Staying square, keeping that stabilizing knee completely still. Inhale on the way down, exhale as you lift. Just your little moment to create your mind to body connection. Feeling that T-zone working. We've got our last one on each side. One more. And rest, taking the hands back behind the head. Imprint your back now. Lifting the legs to tabletop. Hip distance apart. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, armpit to the opposite hip. Inhale, rest back down. Other side. So these are your oblique curls. Firing into the sides of the abdominals. Keeping the legs completely still. Make sure they're not moving about side to side. The knees stay stacked above the hips and the shins are parallel to the floor. Gently pointing through the toes. Lifting up as high as you can. Make sure you're not pulling on the head. Elbows stay wide. As we're focusing, be careful not to poke the chin out. A few more here. Use that breath to help you. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. Try and keep the T-zone switched on the whole time. And your lower back imprinted. One more to each side. Last one. And resting down. Taking a moment to breathe and reset. We move into crisscross. So sticking with the same movement, imprint the lower back, lifting the legs to tabletop, hip distance apart. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lifting up. Just curl straight up and hold that curl. Inhale, T-zone harder. Exhale, rotate armpit to opposite hip. Extend that free leg out. Inhale, return to center, keep the hover. Exhale, rotate, extend the free leg out. Inhale, return. So we keep going like that, keeping the curl. So we're really firing into the abdominals here. If it does get a little bit too much, you do have that option to rest down in between each one and then lift up and reset. So you might like to rest down between each one or maybe take a couple before you take that moment to rest. Or otherwise, just keep going. Hold the curl, rotate, keep the elbows wide, pointing your toes, making sure you're not rocking side to side. Let's keep it coming. This one gets a little bit more intense, so we'll just go for a few more here. Use that breath to help you. One more to each side. Last one. And resting back down. Taking the hands back beside you with the palms down, keeping the lower back in a neutral position here. One foot stays on the mat, the other leg, lifting it up, extending it, and then turn out. So we're really looking for that rotation in the hip socket. Finding that turned out position, pointing your toes. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lower the leg away. Keep it nice and straight. Inhale, slow lift back up to the top. So this stationary knee, make sure it doesn't move. We want to keep it pointing straight up to the sky. If this is intense enough for you, you're going to stick with it there. Otherwise, lift that leg to a tabletop position. Exhale, lower away. Inhale, lift it back up. Maintaining the turnout in the working leg. So as soon as we lift that leg up, our spine automatically imprints. So now that it's imprinted, try and keep that lower back against the floor the whole time. Try and avoid any jarring movement. Keep it nice and smooth. Continuous motion. Use the breath to help you. Keep this knee, the stationary knee, stacked above the hip. Don't let it move out. We've got 2 more here. Last one. And up to the top. You can rest back down. Breathe, reset. Switching over to the other side. Turn that leg out, so feel that rotation in the hip socket. Point your toes. Keep this leg completely still. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lower down. So your spine is neutral here. Inhale, lift up to the top. Making sure the knee doesn't bend. If you're okay and ready for a bit more, we can take tabletop. Lock it into place. Your back will automatically imprint. Try and hold that imprinted position. Focus on the turnout. So the turnout will work into our inner thighs a little bit more. And keeping the leg nice and straight, you might feel a little bit of a pull in the hamstrings. And the abdominals are still working hard. We've got a few more to go here. Keep breathing. Nice and continuous movement. No jarring movements. Keep thinking about the turnout. If we come to parallel, we work the quad muscles more. We want to work into the inner thighs, so focus on the turnout. 1 more. Inhale back up to the top. And resting back down. Moving on to pendulum, which is still working the abdominals. Open the arms up, palms facing to the sky. Imprint your lower back. Lift the legs to tabletop and squeeze them together. T-zone tight. Drop the knees to one side with your inhale breath. Don't go too far, otherwise you'll curve the lower back and lose that imprint. And then exhale, float back to center. Other side, inhale, lower down. Then exhale, use the inner thighs, squeeze the knees, and the abdominals draw back to center. This time as we lower down, we make it a little bit harder. Exhale, extend the top leg out. And then use those abdominals, draw back to center. Try not to push through the arms. Other side, inhale. Exhale, extend the leg, drawing back to center. And lower down. So you can take the knees over as far as you like, as long as we don't lose the T-zone activation. So the lower you go, the harder it will work the abdominals. Try not to press through the arms. If you're just getting used to it, don't take the knees too far. Just go 1 inch or so over to each side. And then over time, as you build your strength, you can start to go a little bit lower with this one. And for a few more. Sticking with that imprinted spine. As you're getting tired, try and keep the movement nice and continuous. No need to race through quickly. You want to get the most out of the exercise. Keep it slow and steady. This is the last one for that side. And you've got 1 more on the other side. Keep that T-zone on. resting back down. One final exercise for the abdominals for this series, taking the legs up to tabletop position and squeeze them together. Your back will automatically imprint here. Taking the hands, stack them one on top of the other. This is our Nutcracker. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, gliding ribs to hips, open the knees and extend the legs. Inhale, touch the toes and rest back down. Exhale, curling up as high as you can, open those knees, extend the legs. Inhale, bring it all the way back down again. So it's nice and continuous movement. Try not to race through it. Curl up as high as you can, really reach the hands through the legs. Reach through the fingers and the toes. Those abdominals through that curl. Keep breathing. I've got a few more here. Gonna make it harder, try and curl up even higher. Need to make it easier. Just don't curl up quite so high. Try not to open the legs too wide in that V, otherwise you can lose the T-zone activation. One last one to go. And resting back down. Rolling over onto the side, ready for our glute series. Reach that bottom arm long, bending the knees, make sure the feet are back in line with the body. We take our clam 2 kick out, lifting the feet up, T-zone switched on, press the heels together, open the knee, extend that leg long in line with the body, bring it in, touch the toes and close it back down. Inhale, open. Exhale, extend. Inhale, touch. And exhale, close it down. So really focusing on keeping your top hip stacked the whole time. Being careful that we don't roll back and lose our center point. So keep that T-zone switched on to help keep your balance. As you kick that leg out long, make sure it doesn't come slightly in front of you. So we don't want to make a banana shape. Think more about creating a nice long line. Got a few more reps here. So we should feel our glute muscle on the top leg working reasonably hard here. Keep using your breath to help you. Nice controlled, steady movement. One more. And resting the feet back down. You can take the hand down in front. Bicycle is next. Opening up the leg, reach that leg long, T-zone switched on. Inhale, bend the knee into the chest. Exhale, flex, pressing out in front and sweep that leg back in line with the body. Inhale, bend that knee in so you're making that bicycle action. Exhale, flex and press out. Draw that leg back in line with the body. So as we sweep that leg each time, be careful not to take it too far, otherwise you'll lose the T-zone activation. You start to sway through the lower back and it can cause back disruption. We want to stick with that nice neutral spine. We've got 4 more to go. Still focusing on keeping that top hip stacked on top of the bottom hip. We've got 3 to go. You should really be feeling the glute in the top leg firing. You're almost there. If it's getting tough, you can pop a little smile on your face. It always helps. And one last one. Keep it nice and continuous. Don't race through it to finish. And resting back down. Our hot potato. Opening the knee, reach that leg long. Make sure your T-zone's on, sweep the leg forward, flex the foot and turn the toes down to the floor. We pulse the foot down and up 2 times and then sweep the leg back just beyond the line of the body. 2 pulses, down and up. So inhale, take a sweep. Exhale, 2 pulses. Again, inhale, sweep back. Exhale, 2 pulses. Keep it coming nice and smooth and continuous. Just being careful you don't take the leg too far in front of the line of the body and too far back where we start to alter the spinal position. Really focus on keeping those toes turned down towards the floor. You might feel this one a little bit up into the hamstring, but it should really fire deep up into your glute muscle. Got a couple more to go here. Really focusing on keeping that top hip stacked. And sweeping back. Come back in line with the body and we can rest back down. Give your bottom a little bit of a rub if it needs it. Taking that top leg across the top and placing the foot down. If it's uncomfortable here, you do have the option to drop the knee all the way down. Otherwise, try on the base of the foot, reaching the bottom leg long, and we can point the foot here. T-zone switched on. With your exhale breath, lifting the leg up as high as you can. Inhale, lower, but don't rest. Exhale, take a lift. Inhale, lower back down. So still thinking about that top hip drawing down towards the bottom hip with our T-zone activation. We should mainly be feeling this one for our inner thigh on the bottom leg as it lifts up and down. But after working my glute, I can also feel a little bit of a glute stretch right now. So it might be a little bit different for you. Really focus on that breathing, lifting the leg up as high as you can. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can lift that leg up and hover for a moment before you rest back down. We're almost there with this one. Two more reps. One more. And resting down. One more for this side. We are extending the 2 legs together. If you can, see if you can find a balance here with the top hand on the hip. Really focus on that T-zone activation. It's going to help keep you nice and steady. Inhale, T-zone. As you exhale, squeeze the side of the body. And inhale, resting back down. So we're really focusing on the side of the body. Big squeeze. Inhale, resting back down. Trying not to make a banana shape. So we want to create that straight line. Lifting the head slightly and rest back down. If you are finding the balance tricky, you can rest the hand down. Just using that as a little bit of balance. Really squeezing the feet together. Inner thigh is working too. If you find it's too much on the head, you can do this one leaving the head resting down. We're almost there. Keep the breathing going. 2 more to go. Lift up as high as you can. One last one. And resting down. And we're ready for our glute series on our second side. Set yourself up, bottom arm long. Knees bent just in front of the line of the body. Switch that T-zone on and we'll lift the legs up. Opening the knee, extend that leg long, and touch the toes. We close down. Working the glute in our top leg, reaching our leg long in line with the body. Our breathing is inhale, open the knee. Exhale, reach the leg long. Inhale, touch the toes. Exhale, close it down. Really focusing on keeping that top hip stacked on top of the bottom hip. So use your T-zone activation to maintain that balance. Feeling that squeeze in the glute muscle each time. Making sure the leg doesn't kick forward. We want to keep it long in line with the body. Two more rounds of this one. One more to go. And rest the feet down. Ready for bicycle. Inhale, T-zone. Open the knee, extend that leg long. Inhale as we bend the knee into the chest. Exhale, flex, sending the leg out in front and sweep back in line with the body. Inhale, bending the knee in. Exhale, flex, straighten the leg, sweeping the leg back. So being careful here not to sweep the leg too far back. Otherwise we start to arch the spine and we're losing the T-zone connection. Without the T-zone, our lower back isn't protected. So you might feel this one quite strongly through the hamstring muscle, depending on your range of flexibility. And we should be feeling it into our glute muscle. Keep using the breath to help you. You've got a couple more rounds to go. One more. And resting down. Hot potato is next. Open that knee, extend that leg long, sweep it forward, flex the foot, turn the toes down, and 2 pulses down and up. Sweeping the leg back just beyond the line of the body and 2 pulses. So as we take these sweeps, really focusing on our top hip here. We don't want it to roll backwards or forwards to compensate for the moving leg. Just allow the thigh bone to rotate in the hip socket. Using our breath, exhale with the pulses. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, pulse. Inhale, sweep. Really focus on that T-zone activation. You might still be feeling this one through your hamstrings. We've got 2 more to go. 1 forward, 1 back. One last one. And resting down. Taking your top leg, ready for some inner thigh work over the top. Remember, you've got that option to drop the knee down if you need. Otherwise, you can hold onto the ankle here, point your toes, T-zone switched on with the inhale breath. Exhale, inner thigh lift. Inhale, lower, don't rest. Exhale, lifting up as high as you can. Inhale, lower, don't rest. Keeping it coming. If you want to work a little bit harder, trying to hold that leg up as high as you can and hold it there for a moment before you rest back down. Keeping it coming. Is your T-zone still switched on? Few more to go here. Making sure that we don't get any tension from the shoulder creeping up towards the ear. Keep it pressing down and away. 2 more to go. And last one. Resting down. Let's stack those feet together for our double leg lift. Placing the hand on top. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down. So really finding your balance with this one. Option if you're finding it too much with the wobbling, just rest the hand back down. Really using the side of the body. If you're feeling it too much through the neck, you might just like to work the legs instead. The inner thighs are squeezing as well here. Keep using that breath to help you. Once you've got the hang of it, you might like to try again with the hand on the leg. Really testing the balance. If you want to work a little bit harder, try and lift up even higher. We've got 2 more here. And last one. And resting back down. Flipping straight over onto the belly for a little bit of upper back work. Breaststroke arms to start. The palms are facing your face with your forehead down, pubic bone tucked in, T-zone tight. Inhale, lifting the chest, arms and head up. Exhale, shoot those arms forward, flip. Inhale, swim around, lift up higher, wiper blade them back. Exhale, shoot forward, flip, inhale, swim back, wiper blade. Let's do one more cycle here. And resting down. Breaststroke legs. Flex the feet, press into the heels, T-zone switched on, lifting the legs. Just breathe naturally, feeding the heels together. Feel the inner thighs working and the hamstrings as our legs are nice and straight up into the glute muscles. Keeping the T-zone switched on to support the lower back, and we'll just rest down there. Now popping the 2 together for our full breaststroke. So set the hands up ready to go. We flex and turn out the legs, pubic bone tucked in, T-zone tight. As we inhale, lifting the chest, arms, head and legs up. Start to beat those heels together. Legs nice and straight. With your next exhale breath, shoot the arms forward, flip. Inhale, big swim back. Wiper blade back. Exhale, shoot forward, flip. Inhale, swim back. Keep it coming. Finding your own rhythm. Focus on the T-zone activation to support the lower back. Using that breath, exhale, shoot forward. Inhale, swim back. A few more to go. This is the last little bit of hard work, so make it count. A couple more rounds. Last round. And resting down. Pulling back into child's pose. Open those knees. Bottom back onto the heels. Reaching through the fingers. Sending the chest down to the floor as much as is possible. Slide your hands into the knees, sitting up nice and tall. We'll stay in a kneeling position. If it's too much, you can always come up a little bit higher, taking one hand over the top, stretching out the traps, releasing the hand. And if you want to change the position, you can gaze into the armpit slightly. Other side. And option to peer into the armpit slightly. Coming back to center. Final stretch, pigeon stretch. Sliding one knee forward, extending the other leg back. Now, if you're not too much of a flexy person, just keep this ankle right underneath you. If you've got a little bit more in you, you can try a 90-degree angle. Try and sit up nice and tall if you can. Really sink the hips into the floor. Feel that nice big stretch through the glutes and the hips. Gets into the hip flexor here too. And gently easing yourself out, switching over to the other side. Again, just taking the option that suits you best. Really let the hips sink into the floor. Give yourself that nice deep stretch after working so hard. And you can gently release. Give those legs a nice big shake. And that brings us to the end of Pilates. Thank you for joining me.